Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the Trololol event in which the Desert Trololol is added to the game, so let's get into it. The Desert Troll, it is another one of the many trolls, all of which double a specific color on the board. This one does it for yellow. One thing to note is they did mention that they are going to be buffing up all the trolls in the future because almost all of them are basically irrelevant, particularly this one. For some reason, it has an 11 mana cost instead of 10. The only other troll that has a 11 mana cost actually does something extra. It gains a bunch of souls. This one does nothing extra, yet it still has a higher mana cost. Trait-wise, it's also pretty not useful. Clobber 2 times to stun enemies. There's not many instances where you're going to be able to use it with Clobber. Not really many yellows that can stun, all of which are pretty much not viable, as Corvash is one of the main ones. The only thing that you may use it for that's yellow related is a mana core. Regeneration, just 1 HP per turn, big, some more HP, and it's an elemental giant, so not much you can really do for it, other than, of course, it's double yellow, so we will be showing some stuff with that. As far as the trait stones, of course, you'll want to get up a fully traded Soothsayer. Actually, just buying 1 pack is enough for getting a Soothsayer. I had to spend an hour last week getting on the beta account, and now you could do it in literally 1 second by clicking that button. Boom, you just farmed it. Well, okay, there's 1 hour of work done. And anyways, let's go and over to the event. We have to go and kill a bunch of giants in PvP. How to do this? Well, if you can't find a bunch of giants in PvP, easiest way to do this is go to casual PvP and just keep clicking refresh. Luckily, there's one right here. But if there wasn't one right here, all we would have to do is keep clicking refresh until we did find a thumbnail that has a giant in it, and then just hope that it is 4 giants. And then just keep battling that, and if you don't find any, just keep clicking refresh until you do. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole process of fighting the giants. It's only 150, so even though it may... there might not be too many teams out there that actually use giants. You'll just be able to do it through casual and only having to do 150. Won't really be too many to do. Okay, bonus treasure maps, completely pointless. You can basically just completely ignore this for the week. It's if you use a pure yellow team, so 4 yellow troops in your team, you will get a extra treasure map and explore. No point in doing that. Just go finish out Zolkiri if you don't already have a Tyree, and then just farm treasure maps with your Tyree. She'll get all of her mana back, and you can just keep farming her. 20% chance per cast that she will get you a map, and that will farm it way quicker than if you were to use this. So no point in doing that. And as far as bonuses, 25% to all giants and 25% to all drifting sand. So let's go show a couple teams oriented to all of this. Oh, before I do, event keys. Not really that worth it this week. The only thing really in the drop pool is a Great Maul. There he is. That's the only really viable drop. Maybe if you don't have him for your collection, you could go and open up some event keys. Otherwise, there's really no point in doing so. This is a week that you can just save your resources for a later week when there is a little bit better value. But yeah, the only thing that's really in there is maybe Dragon Cruncher if you want like a dragon counter. And of course, well, there he is. And of course, the Great Maul. That's about the only things you're really going to get as drops in there this week. So let's go over a couple of teams. Have been testing it some, have yet to find anything excessively good with Desert Troll. The main one I found so far that seems to be decent is this one, which is Desert Troll Herdmaster, either Garuda or Guard's Avatar, and then a Mercy. And we'll just be able to go right off the front of the board, use a nice little Mercy, and then explode with our Herdmaster, and then go from there. We did get a Garuda first turn, don't normally do that, with a 27 mana we needed. 12 off there, and then the 15 off there. But we are set to a +3 right now, if I'm not mistaken. +2 off our banner, and an additional 1 off of the Herdmaster, so a nice solid +9. Very easy to get all of our mana up. And we'll just throw down the Herdmaster. Ideally, we would get our mana as we do right there, and then we can just throw the cast, and ideally that would also extra turn, but unfortunately we did not get that. But we'll go throw the Garuda again, just keep stacking its damage. Of course, you can use Guard's Avatar as well. Guard's Avatar would do a lot more damage, though Guard's Avatar would increase its damage over time, whereas or Garuda would increase its damage over time, whereas a Guard's Avatar may actually decrease its damage due to the fact that it may end up losing its armor. So right here, I'm going to skull bait it. It does have, of course, 50% this week. The only 2 troops with 50% are the Desert Troll as well as the Dragon Cruncher. So we'll go and throw that down, both of which are pretty much not really used. Well, I guess this guy will probably get some usage. There are a couple teams that you can kind of use him with. I've mainly just been kind of messing with him with different Mercy and Herdmaster combinations. Pretty sure you'll need at least one of the two in almost any team that you ever use with him in its current state. But as I mentioned, all trolls are going to be buffed up in the future. Nimhane mentioned that on the forum, or was it Cern? One of the two mentioned it on the forum. I didn't specifically mention what it's going to be buffed to. They just said they're going to be buffed. So hopefully we'll figure out what that is when it comes. And we'll just throw down our explosion right there, tap it out with the skulls, and there we go. And of course, you could just keep doing the desert thing. Garuda just keeps stacking up its damage. Get the Mercy to make sure you keep healing up your first slot because it heals whatever the weakest is. And of course, since it's taking skulls, that will most likely be your first slot. Just keep healing it with it. And yeah, that's the whole premise of the team. And let's go over to the other stuff now. I don't think I'm actually going to show the... Hey, someone already switched their team. I don't think I'm going to show the... Oh gosh, Wraiths. This one mainly because we'll have to pick forever to try to actually find an all-dragon team. But you get the general premise. You can also do it with more of a Bone Dragon or a Keeper of Souls for Skull Spam instead if you wanted to go that route. Maybe with a mana generator like Giant Spider or something. But this is just the mana generation route. You have the double Dragon Cruncher, both with 50% chance to devour. They were buffed recently a couple months ago to have 50%. So that's pretty nice. And you just use Green Seer with its greens and Templar also with its greens to feed it green, and then you just keep spamming out the Dragon Cruncher's 50%, and ideally you'll just devour out the entire dragon team as if it is a Cabarrus, except it has an even lower mana cost. So that's basically what this troop is. It also has Impervious. You don't really use, well, actually the Impervious is the main thing that you kind of use it for. If you were to use it for like an all-impervious team or something like that. And of course, having them up front in a Skull Spam team will make sure that it doesn't get frozen or really disabled by any of the other status effects, such as a Wraith if they happen to have one. Though, personally, I never really use him, and the only viable thing he's really used for is against 4x dragon teams. And as of this current moment, haven't really been seeing too many of those. But let's go for the other team. I do want to repick out of Wraith if we can, because I am really annoyed by Wraiths. So let's go into... Oh gosh. Well, we still have to deal with Freeze. This team can deal with Freeze. I'd prefer not to, but we'll go into it and just kill out the Queen Mab then. But this is the most notorious Great Maul team that's really out there. Of course, you can get it out of event keys if you want. It also does have 25% this week. And if you are going to use it, this is about the best route you can really go for it. Really, with any team that you do it on, you do have to be careful what you use it with. Generally, when you build Great Maul teams, you have to build the entire team around the fact that you have a Great Maul. One thing to note is that you should always have at least one other brown and yellow troop on your team. They don't have to be a brown-yellow, but you do need to have both the two colors. The main reason for this is after the Great Maul does its cast, like right here, it will end up, you basically don't use either of those two colors anymore. And since it generates both of those colors right there, as you see, it is good to have both of those colors behind it, so you'll actually be able to utilize them out of your cast. So right here, we just throw the Inferno King and get a bunch of reds on the board that we'll be able to use for our Shegra, as well as just some skulls in general. And then you throw down the Mega Shegra, and yeah, that's basically this team in a nutshell. Has been pretty popular ever since the whole combo came out ages ago, and still is very powerful to this day. So yeah, if you're ever wondering what do you use Great Maul for, that's pretty much it. Can actually win in about a minute whenever it goes good. I'm not quite sure how long that took, but I'm pretty sure that was somewhere near that general amount of time, minus the time of me commentating over it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that you can do with this event week. So Great Maul and event keys if you don't have it already for your collection. Otherwise, skip on event keys. As far as the troll, it's kind of a troll. That's basically what it is. It's not really too useful from what I can see. Due to it being brown-yellow, you also can't abuse it to do it with something like, for example, with a famine. That was one of the things I thought the double yellow one might have been used for, but with it being a brown-yellow, that doesn't really work out. I think they deliberately did that because if they didn't, famines would be running even more rampant than they already are. But yeah, that's pretty much everything with the event. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.